kind. If you don't have index, you're just going to use peace signs, right? But if you do have index, you're going to be bending that middle finger down a little bit. And we're going to start with your dominant hand resting on top of your non-dominant hand. And then watch this magic move. Whoosh, both of them rotating around. Yep. And guess what? I'm going to teach you the super lazy way as well. Is you can also do it like this. But this is not like proper. This is like you've been signing really fast for a long time and you're just kind of like getting through it really quickly. So this is the lazy sign if you're just doing one hand. But if you want to be proper, as you should, you're going to do both hands, kind. The way I remember this is if you have many different types of things, you're going to be like showing all of them, rotating around each other. Like I have this thing, I have this thing, I have this thing. You have all these things, all these kinds of things. Great. Another sign that you might see kind of in substitution for this word, this is how you sign different. You have two things. They're different, so they're pulling apart. And then you might see some people saying different, 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 like this, different, 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 different. And this also means like variation or like many differences. Like when I'm looking at all of your avatars, there's so many different kinds of avatars. So this could also be used in substitution, but the actual textbook definition is kind. Do you see this? Okay, yes. Limit. So you can either sign this with a flat hand, just flat. Some people also sign it with a bent B hand, which looks like an L. Like I can't really quite do it perfectly, but I prefer with flat hands. And then you're gonna have them starting outwards with your pointed fingertips out, and then come inwards like a hard bar in front of your face. It's a limit. You can't go forward. You're limited. Limited, yes. Limit, limitations, limited, all the same. Limit. You're at your limit. You're at your limits. Oops. And then have, you're going to have a relaxed hand, if my index would cooperate with me for once in my life. Relaxed hand, and then you're going to go onto your chest. You have something, so you're holding it close. Oh dear God, you're holding it close to you because you have it. So you're holding it to your chest. Yes, have. And contrary, if you want to say want, you don't have it yet. You want it. You're pulling it towards your chest. You want it. You don't have it yet. You want it. You're pulling it, and then what happens when you do have it? You don't want to lose it, so you're holding it close. You have, yeah. And then plan. This again uses flat hands, and then I imagine a big schedule like laid out in front of me on a table, and I'm showing what the plan is. I'm going over the schedule with my hands. Plan. Yep. Plan. Good. One, or also win. I win or I won. You're gonna have you guys ever played Captured the Flag? What are you doing? Yeah. Okay. You have the flag in your hand here, and then you have an open hand and you capture the flag. So you won, because you got the flag. You have the flag in your hand. Open hand, you capture the flag. Won or win. Good. Won or win. Good. And then lost or lose, the opposite of win. Who remembers how to sign want? I showed you how to sign want. Want. Want.
Your mic is on.
Sorry, I'm being distracted.
There's back channeling, there's back beat.
I have my voice fall off pretty low, so is he being disruptive?
Yeah, his is weird. It's been weird for a while.
Like, you have your mic, like, because you're standing there, it's broadcasting to the whole world, and they're like, I'm assuming they're on like a laptop where the speaker is really, really close to the mic and it's just picking it up.
Oh.
I think with them, I think they said that they have a headphone that's on.
Can you just mute your microphone? Hello? Hello? Okay.
Hit V.
Yeah, hit the letter V.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in headset. I need to get my headset. Sorry, guys.
I'm really sorry.
Kick him in, tell him in Discord.
I'm gonna have to kick you if you don't turn off your mic. I'm really sorry. Okay.
Jenny, you made the world, right?
Yes.
So, click on them and mute.
Force mic. I hear them like trying. I feel bad. Oh. Okay. I think they're just having technical difficulties.
What is going on?
Okay. I think it's okay.
And now you've killed them.
No.
What did you
All
do?
right.
She's a Jedi.
You did not have to do that.
We all saw it. Jenny killed him.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Okay, anyways. Back to what I was saying. If you want something, you hold it close to you. So what happens if you lose it? That thing you have in your hand, you drop it. It's lost. It's lost. You have like a bunch of things that you love in your hand and you drop it. It's lost. Yeah. So this is the same as in I won something or I lost something or I lost my phone. And then decide. You're going to point to your head, and then you're going to pull that thought down and in to 2 F hands. If you don't have index, you could use 2 fists. Yep. Decide. It's like you're taking that thought and you're like, poof, like pushing it down. I decide this. And then keep. There's 2 ways to sign keep. The first way to sign keep, you have a K hand, and then you're tapping keep on your wrist. Keep. Or I've seen people more on the East Coast, I think. They have their hands on top of each other and then they go in a circle. Like this. Keep. I personally sign it like this. Keep. That's my dialect. But some people also sign keep. Act. You have 2 A hands for the letter act, for the word act, excuse me. And then you're going to go in, what's the word in English when it's not opposite, when it's not simultaneous, it's,
Reverse?
yeah, thank you. You're going on alternating hands. So one is going forward while the other goes back. And it's like you're an actor, so you're big and expressive. You're moving your hands a lot. You're acting. I am lagging. Guess. If you're trying to think of a thought, you're trying to grab that thought out of thin air. You're trying to guess it. Guess.
Is this one over the nose or over the mouth?
I sign this above the nose. It's near your head.
Okay.
Because your thought is near your head. But honestly, it's just your whole face. I wouldn't say like it has to be there, but just
a little confused with guess and miss.
So they're the same sign. It's just context. Miss is in like you missed the ball. If somebody throws you a ball, you're gonna not catch it. If you want, you can do it more towards the chest versus more towards the forehead. But technically, they're the same. It's just context.
Because I think Crow mentioned that one was towards the nose, one was towards the chin.
Well, if it would be that,
Miss
then
was
the
towards the
miss
chin.
would be towards lower. But if
Okay.
most textbooks, they're exactly the same. I don't know why I'm having a really bad frame rate issue right now. It's just like as soon as I turn, it's just really bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reload real quick. I'm sorry. There's been a lot of technical difficulties today. Hold on.
Well, we can always blame Shaw. You're off the hook, Poe.
Let's blame easy anti-cheat, I would say.
Oh, you're playing that card on.
Yay!
You've gone there.
I mean, if you want to go that far, you can always blame the VRChat team.
So our next sign is search. You're gonna have two sea hands, like you're trying to peer through a dark cave or look through a window, and you're searching. So all these things that you're searching for are going in front of you, and you're searching for them. Searching. Good. Lock. Like you have a lock and key. You're gonna have a fist. This is a little bit of a weird motion, but you're going like you have a fist on top of fist, and then you flip it on top of. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You're pros. Psh. Psh. I think like it's like turning the key, you know? Poof. Turn that key. Yes. Awesome. Listen. L for the word listen, and you have the L by your ear because hearing people will listen with their ear. But this is the same if you're telling a deaf person, listen to me. But fun fact, there's another way to say like observing or like taking in information from like a deaf point of view, because they don't listen with their ears. What do they listen with? They listen with their eyes. So you're gonna have 2 3-hand shapes like this, and then you're putting them right below your eyes. And there's not really a direct English translation for this other than listen, but it's like you're listening intently, usually used by a deaf individual. It's not really focus, it's like I am listening. It's like I was listening, or like you could use it as focus, but it's like taking in information. Yeah, but focus, yeah, I guess it could be. Paying attention, yeah, that's a good one as well. Yeah, so it's not reserved for deaf people. Yeah, you can also say like I was attentively listening and paying attention, but usually deaf people use this to describe listening. And then special, if you were here at my classifier lesson, you remember that a pointed finger represents a person. And so you have a person standing, and then and then you're gonna have a F hand. You're gonna take that person and pull them up, because they're so special that you want to pick that person. You're going to pick that person because they're so special. Yep, special. Oop, didn't mean to click that. And then O, who can show me how to sign pay? Pay somebody. Shade, do you know how to sign pay? How do you sign pay? You think maybe, okay, yeah, why don't you show the class? How do you sign pay? That's right! Everyone give Shade a round of applause. Good job, Shade! You're learning so fast! Yay! Our resident certified interpreter knows how to sign pay. Yes, Shade is correct. So you have a flat hand representing perhaps a Venmo or a PayPal. This is how I imagine it, and you're swiping out to give that payment. You're swiping the payment towards somebody, yes. So it's a pointer finger because you're swiping. But what happens if you haven't paid yet? That means you owe somebody or you have debt. So what does that look like? You just haven't swiped yet. So it's that same concept of swiping forward to pay, and you haven't swiped yet. So you're pointing to your palm. And then what happens when you have debt? It causes arguments. So you have 2 people. This represents people. And then you're going to be bickering back and forth. So each person yelling at each other and leaning forward to perhaps, yell even further. I don't know. So this is argue, but if it escalates to a fight, this is a different sign. If you're talking about a fight, you actually are going to use fist hands and go forward like this, as if they're like alternating punches. Fight. But this can also be used for verbal fights. So this isn't just for physical fights. It's just the word fight. You'd use it the same as English. Because sometimes you could say like, me and my mom fought, but that doesn't mean you punched your mom. It just means you fought. Right? Wonder. So wonder, you're going to have a pointer finger and then you're gonna go on your temple here, and then kind of go in a circle up towards the sky. You're wondering. It's like, I think, oh, sorry, I have an alarm going off. It's like thought bubbles coming from your head. You're wondering. So you have thought bubbles.
Could it also be daydreaming?
I sign daydreaming like daydream, or I also sign like drifting, like looking up towards the sky, and you're saying like you're dreaming. Like, so this is dream. So I sign it like I'm drifting and I'm dreaming, looking up. Yeah. And then another sign for wonder can also be like you have your fingers and then you're wiggling them on your temple, usually one-handed. Some people do two-handed as well, like this. And this is like all the thoughts are like sparkling and popping in and out of your head, and you're just really mulling over it. You're like, I was thinking. This could also be like thinking about, like, hey, you know what? I was thinking about how you changed your avatar recently, or whatever. So this could be like thinking about, or like, hey, I was wondering, whatever. But if you just want to say wonder, it could also be like this. Really important that you don't do it like this, because what does that mean? That means like you're crazy. You're not crazy. So it's really important you don't have your pointer finger towards yourself. It's pointed upwards and more towards the temple, while crazy is more towards like the ear area. Join. So join can either be done with a fist or an open hand. Either way works. And then you have your two little legs, my little legs, and I want to join in, so I jump in. It's like your two little legs jumping into a pool. You're joining. Join or join. And then what's the opposite of join? The opposite of join is quit. So if you quit your job, or you quit the instance, quit. So you have your feet in the pool and you come out because you're quitting. And then if you want to tell somebody to rejoin, then you could say join, leave, and come back. Leave and come back. Rejoin. Leave and come back. So if you're lagging and you want to tell somebody, hey, I need to leave and come back, I'm really lagging, right? Rejoin. Does anyone know how to sign respawn? Little pop quiz here. Does anyone know how to sign respawn? Ooh. Close. I don't think I've ever taught this one before, actually. Respawn. So what does spawn actually mean? Ignore Do you know what spawn means? Spawn could mean birth of a child, and life. It means life. This is, you are my spawn. You are my life, right? So you say life again. This is life. L hands, life again. You shall be born again into this world. Yes. If you want to get a little metaphorical here, you say life again, respawn. Yeah. But also you could do that. It's fine. And then realize. Remember wonder. How do you sign wonder? Yep, pointer finger. Very similar, except we're gonna have an R hand. R. So if you have index, or, well, yeah, it doesn't matter if you have index, or if you have a fancy R hand like 3 does, showing it off, then you could do an R. But most of us would have to twist and then go like this. And this is also the same sign for reason. So if you say what is the reason, or like what my reason is, yeah, but it could also be like, oh, I just realized, right? Next is animal. This is very random vocabulary. Animal. So you're gonna have a curved hand shape, and you're gonna put your fingertips on your chest, and you're gonna rock back and forth on your fingertip. So you have your fingertips stationary, your fingertips aren't moving, and then you're rocking in and out like a monkey. Animal. What does this look like? This looks really similar to have. Do you remember how to sign have? Right? You have something, you're holding it close to your chest. It also looks really similar to tired. The sign for tired is slumping down. And also you're going to use your body language with that. You're going to go downwards because you're tired. So it's really important that you're using your fingertips as an anchor and you're moving in and out. Yes, perfect. skip. So if you have index, you're gonna put your middle finger down on your non-dominant hand. You're gonna put it horizontal and take your pointer finger and like give it a little flick. Give it a little hello. Just flick it. If you don't have index, you can just use a rock and roll hand, or you can use a flat hand and then pull down your middle finger and then do that. Skip. Very useful if you play Among Us. Very, very useful. Skip vote. Yes. Oh, I want to play Among Us. I haven't played that in so long. Calm. For all of you who don't know, what is a typical hand gesture if somebody is freaking out, really stressed? Yep. Perfect. Yep. You got it. You say calm down. You're up here. You're all the way up here. You need to take it down. You need to calm down. Have you guys seen the show Friends? If you've seen Friends, Ross, he has that line where he says, "You're up here, you need to bring it down here." And it makes all the cast really angry at him and they hate him for it. You basically need to be Ross from Friends. Just be like, calm down. And then really similarly.
One of the things I know from Friends, no soup for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also on the similar vein is chill. So instead of going up and down, you're gonna go right to left. Chill. I'm just chilling. Going from side to side, I'm chilling. And then also a new sign made by those dang teenagers. In the same vein is you're gonna do the same thing with a V hand, and that means vibing. I'm just vibing. Don't worry about it. Yeah, those darn whippersnappers making new sign language. Dang it.
You have failed the vibe check.
And then progress. Who remembers? Can you show me how to sign plan? Who remembers how to sign plan? Yes. We're planning. So we have from right to left, we're showing our schedule. So very similar. Progress is you're going to have, again, those flat hands, except instead of this way, it's towards yourself. Notice how both my palms are to my chest, not out, in towards my chest. And then I'm going to show each step that I take to improve myself and to make progress. Yes. So very similar to plan, you're taking each step and you're progressing. It's really important though that you don't do this. Watch my hands. You don't go like this. Do you see how my hands are making full circles? You don't want to make that. So instead, imagine there's a floor and you're taking each step on the floor, because this sign is a sign for burrito. So you don't want to say, I've been making a lot of burritos lately. You say you want to be making a lot of progress lately. So, because this is like wrapping the burrito. You have the burrito in front of you and you're wrapping it all up. So it's this motion. It's literally like taking steps forward, right? Does that make sense? And then annoy. You're going to have flat hands. And then this is actually kind of hard to achieve in VR, but in real life, you'd go right in between this gap between your thumb and your finger. It's kind of like a J here. You'd go right smack dab in between. My controllers don't really let me do that. So instead, I just go as close as I can. And then you're going to be, yeah, just like that. Good job. And then you're going to be chopping. Like it would be really annoying if somebody kept hitting your hand, right? So you're showing that it's annoying because they're hitting my hand. That's super annoying. And then similarly, if you sign that with an I hand, this is the letter I. If you break it one time, not tapping multiple times, this means interrupt, right? Because sometimes it's a little annoying if somebody keeps interrupting you, right? It's not always annoying. It's okay to interrupt sometimes. Don't want you guys to think I'm calling you annoying. But that is why interrupt is signed that way. And then opposite, I said this really briefly, but do any of you guys remember how to sign different? Different when I showed how to sign a lot of yes. Different. You have two things and they're going apart from each other because they're different. Opposite is really similar. We're going to have our palms towards ourselves, not away, towards ourselves. And then our fingers are going to be touching, and then they go straight apart from each other. Opposite. And usually I nod my head no. Opposite. Opposite. Because you have two things, and they're so opposite that they're going to like repel each other. Opposites attract, but you know, we're kind of going against the grain. And then satisfy. Satisfy. Very similar to limit, actually, but satisfy, you're going to have two flat hands, and then you're going to go towards your chest like this. And you're going to make sure that you're actually touching your tummy and your chest. Satisfy. So the difference between limits and satisfy is quite subtle. If you remember how to sign limit, we're making sure that we're starting out and going in, and we're not actually touching my body. So it's either up here or it's down here, that doesn't matter. But we're never touching my chest. And it's starting outwards, coming in. But when we go to satisfy, we're not going in. We're starting here, and then we're touching my tummy and chest. Because imagine you just had like a really good meal. It's like your tummy's full and your heart is full. You're like, I'm so satisfied. Your tummy's all full. Satisfy. Cool. Do you guys want to do a little review? Oh, Curiosity, I think your mic just turned on. Do you want to just tap that off? Sorry about that. Okay. Who can show me how to sign plan? Yes. Plan. Plan. Good. What about decide? Good. Decide. 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 Great. And what about owe or debt? Yes, owe or debt, because you haven't paid, you haven't swiped on Venmo or PayPal. What about realize? Realize. Realize. Perfect. Towards yourself, not out. Yeah. Realize. And listen. Listen. Yes. Listen. Listen. Yay. Okay. So that was awesome. You guys are the best. I'm just going to go over something else, and then I'll close it for today. So okay. There. So when I have these three words here, ASL, probably you guys know what that is. Hopefully. Okay. And PSE and SEE, who here by show of hands knows what these are? SEE and PSE. Great. Okay, that's a good 50% of you. That's awesome. So for those who don't know, obviously, ASL stands for American Sign Language. Yep. And then PSE signs for Pigeon Signed English. And SEE stands for Signed Exact English. And the reason I put them in this order is because they can kind of be seen as a graph from left to right. So ASL is actually a grammar structure. Of course, any signed language in America is going to be an American Sign Language. But American Sign Language has a specific grammar structure that is completely separate than English. So some examples include they put, we say red dog. We put the adjective in front, red dog. And ASL, you would say dog red. You would put the adjective after. Other things include the question would always be at the end of the sentence. So in English, we'd say, what your name? In ASL, it would be name what? Name what? Okay, so the grammar structure is completely separate than English. Most people in Helping Hands, including myself, signed PSE. Which is Pigeon Signed English. And what this is you're taking an English sentence. So what's a good sentence? I went, sorry if I spell things wrong, to the store with a friend. Okay, but we'll end it there. So, Pigeon Sign English, we are still using the basic structure of an English sentence. So we're still saying I went, we're still saying store, we're not putting anything at the end that we wouldn't, but instead we're just going to do this. I went to the store. To, we're going to cross that out. We don't need to say that. We're going to say the, cross that out, and a, cross that out. We're also not going to say things like are, am, is, at, anything like that. Okay, so any of these words are not necessary. So our sentence is going to become, I went store with friend. So you'd say, I, before go, store with friend. I'm not saying anything like the or am, are, that's all removed, but I'm still using the basic structure of an English sentence instead of rearranging the words. This is why it's the easiest for students to jump into, because ASL structure can be a little confusing and overwhelming when you're first starting. And then on the contrary, signed exact English, what does that sound like? It's exactly what it sounds like. You're not getting rid of anything. So you're actually signing to, the, a, you're signing are and am. And I will tell you, I'm, at least to my knowledge, not a lot of people in Helping Hands signed exact English, just because it's not easy, and it's actually, they use different signs than ASL. So a good example is loud. Does anyone know how to sign loud in ASL? Yes, perfect. You're going to be pointing to your ears, and then you're showing the vibrations hurting your ears or going bang, 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 bang because it's so loud. But so this is ASL for loud, but in signed exact English, you would have two L hands. You'd put them on your cheeks, and you'd go outwards like you're yelling loud. So it's actually different. It's a different word based on the dialect. And that's because of the history of signed exact English, where it was created by hearing people to help push deaf people to learn how to speak. Because deaf people sometimes would learn how to speak and would not say words like to, the, with, or a. So they would sound a little silly to hearing people. So they created signed exact English to be like, well, you gotta speak like a hearing person. So because of that deaf history, some people prefer not to use signed exact English. However, it is always somebody's personal choice. And if somebody prefers to use signed exact English, if they were raised that way, like, we gotta respect that and try to abide to that. But personally, I signed PSE, Pigeon Signed English, and that's how I'm most comfortable. And sometimes we actually have grammar lessons by DM where he will compare ASL to PSE and how the words are moved and switched around in a sentence. And it's really interesting because a lot of people think that English is just a direct translation from a sign, which isn't true. So it's really important to stop yourself from trying to say a or at or the or things like this. You could just remove it and it makes things a lot simpler. So some other examples, I don't need to write this, but great one is how are you? How are you? I don't say are, I just say how you, right? I'm not saying how are you, I'm just saying how you. But you can understand what that means, and it doesn't, it's like a waste of time to say are. Oh, a whole nother sign. So long. But yeah. So that's really, really important to keep track of, and to also push yourself. So maybe once you've been focusing on PSE for a long time, maybe to help improve your sign, you could try studying ASL grammar and testing if you can try and make a sentence with ASL, or find a deaf person who uses ASL grammar and asking to practice with them and get into that mindset and immerse yourself with exact ASL. It is hard. It is very hard to master, but it's really fun to test your limits and kind of push yourself to learn different ways. And SEE too. Maybe you can find that it's actually easier for you personally, or maybe you have a deaf friend who uses signed exact English and you can communicate easier with them. I don't know, it's just, I like to talk about it because I find it so interesting, and a lot of students don't know what it is when they first start, so it's really important to be aware of that and understand it, and to think about that consciously when you're starting to learn, and to focus on how different deaf people sign. And you might notice that one of my deaf friends, they actually still say dog red, or they still put questions at this part of the sentence, you know, and you could take from their dialects and change it to make your own sort of amalgamation of different dialects for yourself. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to say that because I haven't talked about it in a while. But anyways, I'm very hot. It is so hot here in California. So I think we should finish up and take a photo. Thank you for being so patient with all the technical issues today. I'm really appreciative of that. But yeah, let's go take a photo. And I hope you enjoyed class. Yay!